Hey guys, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here, hello.
Welcome to our very first ever Pedalboard Challenge.
Yeah, so in the comments in the various videos that we record, people have suggested more than once that we should do the odd challenge. And this challenge is Dan and Mick's Desert Island Pedalboard Challenge.
Right.
So we have to make some assumptions about the desert island.
Power, for one. I think is that all we need? Power?
Pretty much all we need, yeah.
Okay.
And as you'll see, in my case, Wi-Fi. So the rules are, and there were a few people that suggested this, so thanks very much to everyone who did. So the rules are 1 guitar, 1 amp, and 4 pedals.
I wasn't allowed a G2.
No. We decided no switchers, nothing like that. You can have 4 pedals and the power. So look, without further ado, shall we reveal what we've chosen? Because Dan and I don't know what each other's chosen. And then once we've done the reveal, there'll be a short pause while we get it all plugged in, and we'll be back to demonstrate and discuss.
Okay, you ready?
Ready?
All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh! There we go. Nice looper.
I see what's happening here. Right, let's get on with it.
All right. Da-da!
Okay, very interesting. Right, before we get into the pedals, no, I'm not surprised by your guitar.
No, and I'm not surprised by your guitar.
No, obviously these are Dan and my favourite guitars. It's fair enough.
Yeah, this is the guitar that I go to the most. I can get pretty much most things from this. A lot of people were surprised by the telly when we did the shoot with Rabia.
Yeah, the metal sound.
The metal sound. The clean sound on the neck pickup. It's beautiful. I mean, you know, if I'm just going to sit down and have a noodle, probably the Gretsch, to be honest.
It's a theme that will come back throughout the video, where there are probably individual choices that we'd make to do specific jobs.
Oh, deja vu. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Wait, but given that we're going to be on this desert island, or whatever, we need to stop talking about that. But given that the premise is that we're kind of away from everything, each item needs to sort of be versatile, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you were going to choose, anyway, you get the point. You're choosing the telly because it does a lot of things.
It does a lot of things.
Same for me with this. You know, I can get a better rock sound out of a humbucker guitar. But, it's home.
It's home.
It made me feel like home, and it made me feel good. So, okay, so in the time it took between us revealing the boards and plugging them in, we had to plug them in and get some sounds up, and there's some good sounds going. So why don't we start with the amps?
Okay.
Give us a demo of the kind of, or give us a talk through of.
Okay, so I've chosen the Hamstead. It's the one amplifier that gets me closest to my 2 amp rig. I can go anywhere with that, stick one mic in front of it, and it sounds glorious. It has there's a Class A Voxy type thing that I really like, but there's a bottom end to it.
Yeah, you've got all the integrity of the top strings coming through there, and it's got that kind of glassiness like you'd expect from a Telecaster.
Yes. Yeah.
You really like that, don't you? And you
I
really
love
like
that.
I think in some ways we're slightly different in that you like a lot of bass and a lot of treble.
Mm-hmm.
And I like strats and mid-range and not too much bass and not too much treble.
The reason for that is, for me, because of what I do specifically with Tin Spirits, I do a lot of the textures, and I need that spectrum of frequency to be able to do that. But then, it's got to be a really great natural guitar sound. It's not a hi-fi type thing, but the Hamstead, it does have a broader frequency spectrum than an AC30, for example.
Yeah.
It's like an extended bottom end, but it still has that lovely vibe that's the amp's working like all the time. It's not like a massively open power amp section. It's still working, still Class A.
Is it cathode bias?
Cathode bias, Class A.
It's got that urgency to it, definitely.
Yeah.
Go on, give us a quick. just breaking up a hair, isn't
Just
it?
a hair. Just a hair. So that when I dig in, it just compresses.
Can I listen to the reverb?
You can indeed.
I'll remember where it was.
And the tremolo on it. Just hit the tremolo on.
Lovely. Very nice.
And for me, as a platform for pedals,
Yeah.
spectacular.
Again, because Dan likes to have the amp set just so that it's breaking in, don't you? So that when you hit the pedal, we'll come on to that in a sec. Right, Mesa Lone Star. Now, it's not in the normal Mesa Lone Star box. Apologies to everyone at Mesa for that. But because the original head case was like
Massive.
about 8 miles long, and it didn't fit on any of my cabinets, so I had it put in a different box. But it's a Mesa Lone Star 100-watt version. And I've chosen it because it has 2 channels. So normally I'd go for single channel amps, and like Dan, I'd use maybe 2 amps together, or an amp that was absolutely dialed into its perfect thing. But the Mesa is such a versatile amp; it's got 2 channels, so I can have a bit of clean, a bit of dirty, and it's got built-in
reverb.
Yeah, valve-driven reverb as well. So it's a really nice reverb. There are other amps that do other things, kind of.
I was surprised, I must say.
Because you thought it would be the 2-rock.
I thought it would be the 2-rock.
Yeah,
Because you threw that amp for me is a wonderful thing.
Mm. Yeah, my favourite single channel amp is definitely a 2-rock Studio Pro 35. But I fancied the extra gain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of channel 2 on the Mesa.
Very good. And it sounds just gorgeous.
It's a fantastic amplifier. If I could only have one amp, that's what it would be every day of the week. Turn it down a tiny bit. I'm a little bit louder than Dan there. It also has a very, very, very lovely reverb.
Yeah, and it's on the back panel. I didn't.
It keeps it more compact.
Yeah.
So quite a Fendery type, quite a strong, clean sound. It will break up more than that. And then secondly, there's an overdrive channel which does everything, but this is kind of how I would have it set, having had 2 seconds to set it up. It's got independent reverb control as well, so you can have lots of reverb in the first channel and not much in the second.
Nice.
So it's kind of like this for the crunch channel. So, quite a lot more driven than the clean channel. So
very nice.
Once we get into the pedal, so yeah, that would I'm just going to turn that reverb down again a little bit. There we are. So there we are. Amps.
Very good.
Nice. Speakers. There's a blue in there, isn't there?
Celestion blue, single Celestion blue.
Yeah, I've got a Creamback, a heavy magnet Creamback, 75-watt Creamback.
Just one.
Just one.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Both choosing 1x12 cabs there, Dan.
Ah, interesting.
Right, let's get on. Shall we start with the fun stuff?
Yep.
Overdrive pedal.
Yep.
I know that's your favourite overdrive pedal.
If I could only have one overdrive pedal, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really interesting. Thinking about this, it was really hard only having 4 pedals, because normally I have 4 overdrive pedals, you know. But the thing about this, it has the two separate sides to it. So one I can have broken up just a little bit, one a lot more gain.
Yeah.
And through the Hamstead, it does sound spectacular.
Come on then.
You know. So all right. So clean sound. It's great. Fantastic. The other side. Just a little bit of, natural compression in there, just sort of overdriving a little bit. But then you combine them. So I can still get heavier.
But it's still like a traditional overdrive, isn't it? Rather than any kind of modern distortion or anything like that.
I can still hear the guitar.
Super dynamic.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. So
everyone's going to ask how you have the internal dip switches set.
Oh man, I've got this side set up as an overdrive and that side set up as a boost.
Yeah,
I think.
It sounds like you have to me.
Yeah.
Which is not the standard way of doing it. Is you have the red side overdrive and the yellow side boost, don't you? That's the way they come as standard.
Right.
So yeah.
But I'm on an island. I don't need to be louder. I just need to be great. So because I want to be able to put a bit more compression into that, which is also the same reason I have the compressor before and not after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can very, very happily gig with that. That's
on your island.
On my island.
to the various wildlife and the odd basking shark. Okay.
Royal Overdrive. So we did the Dumble thing a while ago, and this was your pick.
This. So in the last video, I said that the last overdrive pedal I would ever get rid of ever was my A28, and that is true.
Yes.
But as we also, if you haven't watched the Tube Screamers video, watch it because it's kind of interesting. We sort of come to the conclusion that actually Tube Screamer probably isn't the best all-round overdrive in the world, but as a modifier for other sounds, that's where it works.
Okay,
which
I understand.
Which is why I haven't chosen it. Anyway, Royal Overdrive, made by Van Weelden or Van Veelden, been over the pronunciation many times, in the Netherlands by Peter Van Weelden, and it's just, well, you can go from. So here's the clean sound of the amp. Pretty tube screamery with a bit of a mid kick there. Through to a bit more presence, bit more treble, gain boost.
That is lovely.
And then it's got an additional mid boost in it. Should you wish, I mean, we could really push the mids here, and it's that thick.
Hang on.
So there's a lot in it basically.
Okay. So very different mid-range character. Yeah, that's really, really lovely.
So yeah, actually, what I've never tried and will do now is the Royal Overdrive into the Overdrive channel of the Boogie, and I'm not quite sure what's going to happen there, but we'll try it anyway. Probably turn some of that mid down. So here's the Overdrive channel of the Boogie. pretty middly. Pretty middly, loads of overdrive for those long rainy days with electricity. Yeah, it's a sound. What wasn't as mushy as I thought it would be.
Right.
Sounds like it is rolling off a little bit of bass.
Yeah, I'm actually positive you could set that up, you know, a bit, maybe a bit less gain, a bit more presence, you know, just to cut through the compression of the amp a little bit.
Yeah,
That's great.
You wouldn't, I don't know, putting a very complex overdrive pedal into an already heavily compressing overdrive channel, probably not what you do. Anyway, that was, yeah.
I want to see, I was very surprised by your choice of Ditto Looper.
It's a definite game of two halves on my board, would you say? Given that all those three pedals together cost about half what that one does on its own.
It's really impressive.
But the reason I've chosen those, specifically the Hall of Fame and the Flashback, is because I've got other delays and reverbs, which for the single sounds that they do, I probably prefer.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan and I are both big fans of the Analog Man ARDX20 analog delay. Dan introduced me to that and I bought one immediately. And one of the things I love about that delay is that it has the modulated option if you've got the Amazio foot controller.
That's right. Which unfortunately they don't do anymore.
No. I do have one and it sounds really fantastic.
Incredible.
However, we're only allowed 4 pedals. So I've gone for the Flashback because unless you went for one of like the big ×4 or the many versions of the 4 thing that TC do, huge,
the Ego,
huge box, yeah. Oh yeah, and actually there is a smaller one as well. I don't have to have one of those. However, I do have a Flashback Mini, and it's got this really, really cool function, which, if you'll permit me, I'm gonna demonstrate.
Yeah, please.
All right.
I've never seen this done live.
Have you not?
No.
It's guaranteed not to work. It's like having animals on on Blue Peter or something. It's going to do a big.
I can't wait to see that. Come on then.
Okay, so right, let's see if this works. So the way the Flashback works is, and apologies to anyone who knows this already, but I guarantee there are people out there who've got a Flashback Mini who have never ever done this.
Right.
So here's one delay sound. Nice.
Nice, very nice.
Right, now, if on the island where we've got smartphones and Wi-Fi, that's so.
This is a great island.
So
hammocks? Do we have hammocks?
Yeah, obviously you need somewhere to sleep. So this is a Commodore Garden smartphone, right? And if you go to the TC Tone Print app, you can go to the App Store, download it for free, open it up. I'll do close-ups of this later on, but here we go. It'll open up. So we're going to go by product here, and I'm going to find the Flashback delay, Flashback Mini delay, there we are. And what it does, it will give me a ton of delay presets that have been programmed by TC Electronic, maybe also by artists. What TC has used a combination of magic, mirrors, and magnets to make this work. So what you do is, Dan, if you'd be so kind as to, So what you do is you go beam to pedal, right? And I'm just going to remind you what it sounds like currently. Okay, I don't know what preset that is. We've got ones by Brent Mason, by Brent Hines, by Boz Bora, by Billy Morrison, by Audley Freed, by Andy Summers.
Wow, Andy.
You want Andy Summers?
Andy.
Okay, so this is the Walking on the Moon. Apparently this is the Walking on the Moon delay. So you select it. You press and hold, if you wouldn't mind, Daniel. Okay.
Look at that.
And
there it is.
By means that we don't understand, it just beams that preset into the pedal. So you have to set the delay time. Would it be quicker than that? Slower than that?
That's it.
And similarly, if I wanted to get Like, so the kind of delays I like would be...
Stephen Wilson's done one. Wow.
So I'll do that once more, just with I've gone onto the TC's own multiple tone print settings, Beck's tape and Peter's mod.
Awesome. That sounds amazing.
By TC Electronics. Shall we do that?
Yep.
So you could
very nice.
You could be that's why I've chosen the Flashback, because you can beam in eventually if you can handle the technology. Loads of different sounds.
That's really cool.
So, and what you're going to show me now is that the Timeline can do absolutely all of that without the need for any mobile phones, the internet, or anything else.
Well, it's a very different machine. The Timeline has lots of different engines that you choose from. So you can go from this is a lo-fi delay. I love that. But then, so the famous ice delay. Right, so it does, the different... So the different delay engines, the manner of sounds that you can achieve are just incredible.
It literally does every delay sound imaginable, doesn't it?
And more.
Yeah.
And you can just sit down with hours and hours, because I'm going to have hours and hours on my island.
I think even I could learn how to use it in that amount of time.
Exactly. But something like a simple analog sound and delay. Let's go back here. It's really great.
It's great.
It's really nice, and then you can add the modulation in. Beautiful. So when I'm doing a
That sounds spectacular.
Yeah. So I can't do a gig without the Timeline.
Yeah.
Because all the sounds that I need, sounds that I recorded on the album and stuff, they're all there.
Yeah.
Built-in looper.
Well, okay, then let's come on to that, because I knew, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no, delay pedal and looper in one, that's what I should have done. But it would have taken me 6 weeks to record this blooming demo, because there's no way I'd have been able to work out how to turn the delay on and the looper on at the same time.
Right.
People screaming at the screen, you know, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. It is for me. I don't know why, but anyway, there we are.
But the ditto was made for you.
Well, I don't know if it was, because I literally got it 3 days ago, because I'm thinking, right, I'm going to this desert island. There's nobody to play with. And that is just the saddest thing about being on the desert island, I think. So I thought I would play with myself, kids. I thought, what better thing to do than have a looper? So I've got somebody to play with.
That's great.
And I think after about another 6 weeks, I could work out how to turn the looper on and off and get it roughly in time. So yeah, looper, new to me, but I watch other people using them, and I think, yeah, I'm going to get into that.
Oh,
I think
they're wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful things. Yeah, so I use the looper in the timeline all the time. It's great. But what was, I think, the biggest surprise for you, for my board, was the Mistress. Would that be correct?
I knew you'd have something weird and that's likely to break down on there, yes.
I really struggled. There are so many, so many things I wanted to put on there, but I simply had to have this. So
come on then.
Right, okay. Now, the thing about the Mistress is that it sounds absolutely incredible. Like for a clean sound, a bit of compression in the front, a little bit of delay on the back end. Without it. With it. But then, when you put on a bit of electricity guitar solo, turn that off. So a really simple delay. it's a glorious.
That's a cool sound. What can we hear? I mean, famous songs wise, what's that used on?
It is the Andy Summers chorus pedal.
That's the sound.
That's the sound. So
yeah.
You're hearing the delay on that. It's see, I always thought it was the CE1.
Yeah.
But then Pete Cornish emailed me one day and says, "No, young man, you are mistaken. It's the Electric Mistress."
Okay.
And then when you hear it, it absolutely, it could be nothing else.
Yeah.
It is really remarkable. But so Davey G always has a couple in his rig, David Gilmour folks.
Yep.
It's a really wonderful sounding thing. You even with a lot of gain. Noisy as all get out.
Confessions of Many a Function Band.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the other pedal I had to have was, of course, the Origin Effects Cali 76 Deluxe Compressor. Because my clean sound, the compressor.
Called I'm Tired of Coconuts. Can I have an onion bargee? Man, that sounds ace. That every time I hear one of those Cali 76s, I think I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week. It's inspiring. But the thing for me, this combination, I can sit down and be inspired. And
I could hear that in just in 2 seconds of you doing that. You're away.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that's a great example of how a sound can just
transport you.
Yeah, and instead of you going, right, I need it to sound exactly like this and exactly like that, and I need it to tick these boxes, actually you're just going, let's turn it all on and see where it takes us. And
definitely.
We just witnessed that, people. Okay, so I got one final pedal, and that's the Hall of Fame Reverb, chosen for the same reason as the Flashback. It also does tone print, by the way, but because it's an absolute all-rounder.
Yeah.
And my favourite...
These are great.
My favourite setting on the Hall of Fame is this, the mod reverb, which is...
While away the days doing
Huge,
that.
great cathedral
Beautiful.
style thing with a modulation on it. But it also does, obviously, this isn't a demo of it, but
That's
kind of
nice.
thing.
So it sort of gets rid of a slapback thing, doesn't it? That's
Yeah.
great. I set one of these up on Guthrie Govern's board when he was doing the Stephen Wilson gig, and I was so impressed with it.
Yeah,
it really sounds great.
It's cool, you know. So it's almost like you get those combinations of reverbs and very short delays. That's called tile, presumably, because it's a bathroom kind of thing.
Wicked.
So, yeah, it's there. So very much an all-rounder.
Very good.
Very good, very good. So there we go. Dan and Mick's Desert Island Pedalboard Challenge. 1 guitar, 1 amp, 4 pedals. What will we choose? That's what we choose this week. Who knows what it might look like
That's
next
right.
week.
Yeah. Definitely. There we go, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was fascinating. There was a couple of surprises there from you.
As I said, mate,
really
game of 2 halves.
Game of 2 halves. Very good. But 4 pedals, 1 amp, 1 guitar. Wonderful.
Yep. Well, before we sign off, quick bit of housekeeping. Please subscribe. If you like these videos, please subscribe. Click the link below. And secondly, if you want to support That Pedal Show to help us keep doing what we do, go to the That Pedal Show store and think about buying a t-shirt. We have various designs available. There we go. That's as much sales pitch as we're going to do.
Yeah. All right. So until next week, we'll see you then. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Cheerio.